Yeah, hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm good. How are you all? So, today we meet again for chapter 10 today. So, how was the last chapter that we did together, which was article writing? Was everything clear? Is there any problem? Anything that you want to ask me related to that? You can ask me, otherwise, I'll start with chapter 10, which is pretty easy again. Uh, yeah, I know I keep calling every chapter easy, but the thing is, conceptually, these things are not very difficult to understand. What you actually need is practice, practice to make things perfect, right? So understanding is not an issue. The issue is the practice, right? The more you practice, the better you will be, and gradually you will become an expert. Right. So, any problems that anybody wants to ask? Himanshu, it's because that's as per the schedule. I mean, I don't know. It's just being placed towards the end. All right. So let's start with today's chapter, which is formal letters. Now, you all have done formal letters, right, in your schools. You have already studied about it. And whether it's Hindi or English, you have done what letter writing is. These days, letter writing is not a very popular or a very common method of communication anymore. But still, we do write formal letters for many things. And we do write letters too, I mean, like personally, informally as well. Many people like to write letters, right? So, now, this chapter is all about letters and specifically about formal letters and also about the official communication, right? Now, today I have to finish this chapter in today's class. So, my pace might be a little fast. If I am too fast, just tell me that, ma'am, you're too fast. Please slow down. Okay. Although it's very easy to understand, so I will be explaining you everything what conceptually it is. Few things that you need to keep in mind is the format. Format is very important. Okay, there are marks for format. I'm sure in your schools also your teachers must have told you that the format carries marks. Your format should be at least correct, if not the content. Right. So let's start with letter writing. Now, what is a letter? Who is going to tell me what is a letter? What is a letter? Hmm. So, would you consider a text message also a formal letter? Or a letter, sorry, not formal, but letter. Now, letter writing is basically a written form of communication, yes. So it is basically being written by somebody and sent to another person, right? Now, this letter is written in a particular way of format, whether it's formal or informal, it doesn't matter. Yes, for the formal letter writing, you are more particular about the format, but not for the informal, right? When it comes to language, also the things are different. So this is written. Now, if somebody would ask me why letter, why people used to write letters or why people still write letters, letters is basically something that brings people together. Friends, relatives, for your professional relationships, for your expressing your own feelings and views. So you can actually write a letter and send it to somebody. Like, what do you think about it? Right? So basically, it helps in your personal relationships also. It also helps in your professional relationships. Right? Now, there are two types of letter writing. One is informal, the other is the formal. Now, in informal form letter writing, you know what informal is. You basically write for your friends, your relatives, your family, right? Now, in that informal letter writing, of course, you can use casual and personal communication because you're writing to somebody you know, right? And while writing formal letter, we can make use of personal and emotional tone. You can express yourself the way you want. You don't have anyone who can tell you if this is wrong or right. Then you basically keep the language and the tone of the letter writing as per your comfort with the person, as per your relationship with the person, right? And you know about the other person, how the other person is going to take what you're going to write. And lastly, there is no specific format for that. All right. Am I clear about the informal letter writing and letter writing? Simon, you're asking that you no longer write letters. That's not true. You still write letters. Formally, you still do. There's so many organizations where you're supposed to write a letter and then send it. In so many organizations, you're supposed to formally submit the documents. And this is why we are reading about the formal letters and official communication, not only just letter, but officially what all things are used for communication purposes. Are we clear? Yes. Now let's talk about the formal letter writing. So this I've already explained to you. Yes. Now let's talk about the formal letter writing, which is main theme or main agenda of this chapter. Now, of course, formal letter is used for official or professional communications. It is written with a well-defined objective. You need to have a purpose. You need to have a goal or objective that why you are writing this letter, right? You need to think before writing to somebody. Now, there is a specific format that is given to you and you need to follow while writing the letter, right? We will be discussing the format after this. So format is very important. Then formal letters are basically concise. Anything that is formal is concise. Nobody has time to read stories, right? You cannot send somebody like 5-page long letter and then you expect somebody to understand whatever you are saying. No, you have to keep yourself concise. Then specify format with formal language, right? So you basically use a formal language in it. The English has to be perfect, the way you write and the sentence structures and the way you can put your point across. Everything is in formal language. Has two purposes because it opens a channel for communication. Now, you cannot call somebody directly, but if you approach somebody through letter, they take it nice, okay? Because you are not basically interrupting them during the day. You have chosen a good form of communication so that you can write somebody and then take the time to meet or talk on phone. Second is that formal letters maintains the official records of communication between two parties. When formally you are doing a business together and you have some conversation together, if you exchange that on letters, you have an official record that this is what we agreed and this is what we discussed, right? So this is why this is there. Now, there are n number of types of formal letters, right? Not only just like simply you start writing. Also, the formal letter helps you to solve a problem, prepare or inquire about the products. Now, you want to, buy some products from somebody and you don't know the person. You can at least write a letter and ask, right? That I want to inquire about so and so product and what is the price, what is the specification, what is the color and size and everything, right? And the other person will sends a response back to you. You again have in a written form. Whatever discussion that you will have, that will be written form. So later on, when you are at the next stage of your deal, the person cannot say that I never said that, right? Because you can show the letter and say, let's see, this is what you have written in the letter, right? Also, now, formal letters are also, categorized into various forms. There are different categories of formal letters. Now, when this is an official letter, you can write a letter to make an inquiry, to register a complaint, asking or giving for information, placing or cancelling orders, sending replies in response to inquiries and complaints. These are all business-related formal letters. Then there are letters related to civic problems, letters to the editor. When you write a letter to the editor of a newspaper, you're writing because there's something that is bothering you in your society or in your community, right? The letters to consult authorities regarding civic problems, right? Maybe for the water, electricity, roads. Whenever you write letters for such things to the department, and these are called formal letters. The job applications when you're applying for the jobs. Clear? Are we clear till here? At least you understand what formal letter is, so that then I can move ahead. Next that I'm going to discuss is the format, which is very important. Now, okay, someone has asked me how letters can open the channel for communication. So, for example, you don't know somebody, and if you call the person will not answer your call and wouldn't even know who you are. So writing a letter is a good way of approaching somebody, because that way the other person will not mind. Why did you even, write a letter? And it's a very polite way of approaching somebody. And once the person, responds back to you or calls you, it opens a channel for communication. Like now you can converse with the person, right? Now somebody has asked me how it can help as a chartered accountant. Now, not everything is about, how it, okay. So formal letters, when you are a CA, right? And for example, you have a client who's stuck in some department, who's, there's some case in the sales tax department or income tax department, any department, and you were the CA. So won't you help your client by writing a letter to the department and saying that, no, my client was innocent. They have not done anything illegal. Yes, they're not hiding any money here and there. Yes. So again, as a chartered accountant, you will be writing the letters to your clients. Are we clear? Yeah, now move on to the format. Okay. Now, this is called the format of formal letter. Now, what is a format? Now, in this one, we have first is the sender's address, the one who's writing the letter. The other is the date. Then comes a designation or the name of the addressee. Now, who is the sender here? Who's the addressee here? Sender is the one who's writing the letter and sending out. Addressee is to whom it is being written, to whom it is being addressed, right? So you write the designation first and then the name of the person. Or no, sorry. Either you write designation or the name of the person. So if you do not know the designation, then you write the name of the addressee. Then comes the address. Then comes the salutation. Now salutation has to be like again, hi, hello, dear, respected, whatever. Then comes the subject. Why you're writing the letter. Now, nobody has time to read what one person has said, unless their subject tells us that, okay, this letter is about this. And the person who's reading it, and if the person finds it useful, they will open the letter, otherwise they will not, right? Then comes the content. Now, divide your content in the short paragraphs, discuss very clearly what you want to. In the last paragraph, conclude the whatever you wanted to say, and you could probably can ask for a call or a, invite them for dinner or, whatever, have a discussion in person, right? Then comes the complimentary close, then signature and the designation. Are we clear? I'm sure everybody's clear with this. Are we clear with the format? Okay, now in letter writing, let's start with the bifurcation. I'm going to explain you each and every point which is there in the format. Now, first is the sender's address. Now, sender's address has to be complete with the contact details on the top. If you're making use of a letterhead of the company, then the contact details will be present on the top of the letter. Now, if you are sending a letter to somebody, your address has to be complete. But if you're writing the letter on your letterhead, then you don't need to write it. Okay? Then comes a date. It is important to add a date because if you want to communicate further, then adding a date can make it easy for you to maintain the record of letters. Now, date actually helps you to maintain the record when this thing happened and what was the discussion. Clear? Any problem so far? Now, in the sender's address, when you write a letter, please understand that you have to write in this way. I'll just show you. Sender's address. So you write the house number first and the block or maybe the floor, the first line. Then you write the area, which is like critical ash in this case, and then you write about the city. The address has to be broken down to the 3 lines. Do not write the entire address in the 1 line. Clear? Then comes the date. Look at the date. It says 17 May, whatever. So you have to write in this way only, 17 May. Do not write 17.05.2022 or 22 only. No, that's a wrong way of writing a date. This is how you write a date. Any problems? Are we clear about this? Okay, then next comes the salutation. Now, salutation must be added in the beginning after the... No, wait, sorry. After this, then comes the designation or the name of the address. So designation will be the editor, the sales manager, the marketing manager, the CEO. This is the designation and then their address. If you do not know the designation, then you will write the name. Clear? Any confusion? Then comes the salutation, which is about dear sir or madam. Right? If you do not know what to write exactly, if you do not know the name of the person you're writing, use this. However, it is advisable to try to use the name of the person. Now, whenever you're writing a formal letter, it is advisable that you write a personalized letter. That means you should address to the person you are going to write a letter to and you're keen to meet. Okay. Now, you can write, dear Mr. Gupta, right? So this is how you write. Don't write dear Gupta or dear Mr. Keshav Gupta. No. It has to be either dear Keshav or dear Mr. Gupta. Clear? Right? Then comes the subject. Now, subject is like the title of the letter. So whatever you write in the title is going to create an impression about your letter. Also, the subject cannot be very long. You should not have very long. It has to be in the minimum of words, 5, 6, 7. That's it. Clear? Any problems that you have so far? Now, salutation is when you say dear sir or ma'am, or dear Mr. Gupta, dear Miss Mitra, dear Miss D'Souza. So all of this, right, that is the salutation. Then comes the content. Now divide the paragraphs into 3 parts, right? First is introduction, second is the middle one, and third is the conclusion. Am I clear? Yes, any problem that you have so far? Okay, till here, what I want you to do is an exercise. How will you write a sender's address? Now pick anything you want to, any area that you know, any house number, any city. Just pick up the sender's address. How will you send? Show it to me. Second is the date, and third is the designation and the address of the addressee. Show me these three things. How will you write in the letter writing? If the address is not given in the question, then you just make it up. ABC 30, XYZ Road, QRS City, whatever. Yes, yes, yes. I know it's not wrong. So basically, there's a lot of debate about the formal uh, this thing also. No, dear, it's not wrong. Right? For the formal letters, you basically start the letter and then you write a subject like a title in the letter. Quickly write down, just take a hypothetical sender's address, then the date, then owner's address. Dear Gunjan. Quickly write down. Hanu, can't you guys show me in like different lines how you're going to write? Okay. Now, for example, somebody's written the address D29, Ashok Vihar Phase 2, and Delhi. So you can divide this into the three lines. First would be D29, then comes the Ashok Vihar, which is your area's name, and then comes the Delhi. So Ashok Vihar Phase 2 will be in the one line, then Delhi, and then the address. Address is perfect. Okay, good. Address, what you've written is right. Okay, so you've understood fairly. Then comes the subject line. Now, the subject line is very important because subject line basically decides if your letter will go through the person or not. It is like giving a title or something small for your mail. Then comes the content. Now, content has to be very concise, very brief, in short. The first paragraph is about the introduction. Now, it can be introduction about you, right, and how you came across this person. And then comes the body, which talks about it, what you want to say, what message you want to convey, right? And then add all the required details. Do not exaggerate. Then write down all the details. Use simple language that is easy to read. Then comes the conclusion. The conclusion is a declaration It is like a declaration of a person, expectation of receiver, that what he thinks should happen next, right? And then you can have you basically can show that you have a hope for a positive reaction. You are expecting somebody to reply back to you or email this thing back to you. Sorry, not email, letter, write a letter back to you, right? You should try to end the letter on a positive note so that people actually respond back to you. So you have to make sure that when you close the letter, when you are finishing the letter, it has to be done in such a way that people respond back to you. Am I clear? Now it's quite nicely explained in your study material. It says, I'll just show you these lines. For this chapter, I literally not picked up anything from outside because this chapter has everything. There is nothing else that you need. Now look at this, examples lines. The concluding lines for the job application may be, I will be readily available for the personal interaction anytime as per your convenience in case my candidature is considered for the aforesaid post. So you're saying that I'm available to meet you anytime in case of job application. Now, in case of letter complaint, you would conclude by saying, it is apparent from the condition of the machine that it is the effective piece. Since the date of purchase is well within the guarantee period, I would like it to be replaced with new one, but of the same model at the earliest. So because you're putting a complaint for something, you would conclude by saying that you're hoping that your piece will be changed and you will get a new piece in lieu of that. Clear? Any problems? Anybody at all? Okay, now let's come to the complementary clause. Now, complementary clause is definitely based on your relationship with the person to whom you are writing. So it could be yours respectfully, yours sincerely, yours truly, with appreciation, with sincere appreciation, with sincere thanks, or you can simply say thanks and regards. Anything that you feel about the person. Clear? It is absolutely based on your relationship. Now, you're writing to somebody who's very senior to you, you say yours respectfully. When you write a letter to the principal for your leave, you say yours respectfully because she's the principal. Am I clear? Yes, any problem that anybody has? Okay, look here. Now we have different types of business letters or official letters. Okay, every letter would have the format will remain the same. Format doesn't changes. What will change is the matter, what you write in the middle of the letter. Right now, if you're writing a letters of inquiry, you will write in a way that you are inquiring about a business or a product or any service. Right? Order letters that when you want to place an order. Yes, the letters of complaint, of course, when you have, for example, you've got a TV which is not working anymore. So you write a letter of complaint to the, the company. Then reply to letter of complaint. So if somebody has written to you letter complaint, then how will you respond back? Then comes the promotion letter. So when you're announcing the promotion to everyone, right? Or you are informing the person one-on-one that congratulations, you've been promoted from this post to so and so post. Then comes the sales letter when you want to sell something. It comes the recovery letter when you have to take something back from the person. Clear? Yes? Okay, look here and there. Can you see this? Can you see this? No. All right. So letter of inquiry is basically when you inquire about the most important types of business letters. Because this is something that you write for every day, and in your personally also, when you want to inquire for product that is for your personal use, but you have to write it to the client, and you can ask, and the person from the person that you want to buy from. So you use right. So you basically inquire about something. For you want to gather information about things. Now it could be about people seeking jobs. So at times, what happens is that you are looking for a job, but you're not sure that in your desirable company if there is a vacancy or not. So you write a letter for the inquiry that I'm just inquiring that if you have this particular position vacant, right? Then prices of services. You're talking about any service that you want to take from somebody, and then you want to inquire about the prices. Now, if your inquiry is about the prices, then the products, then this helps the receiver decide whether they should give the job or promotion or grant credits or enter into contract or not. Now, how you write the letter depends on what will happen next. They may also be written to third parties asking for information about jobs or about organizations. Now look here. Oops. Sorry. One second. Okay, so now you want to know what letters of inquiry are. We basically write the letter for any kind of inquiry. It could be about a product, it could be about a service, it could be about prices, it could be about jobs, anything, right? And this actually helps people in building the professional relationships also. Because when you write a letter, if somebody is very impressed by your letter, they'll respond back to you and then you exchange few letters, and that's how you build a relationship. Now, when writing a letter of inquiry, you should give a brief introduction about yourself with the name of your organization. You should always give your introduction because a formal letter, it is not necessary that people know you, right? You need to provide details about the subject of the inquiry. So you write about in the subject inquiry for the associate position in your organization, right? So then you explain that what is the subject of inquiry. Then you present queries in bullet points if you require a lot of information. So basically, if you have too many questions to ask from somebody, you make the points of it so that none of your points are lost or remain unanswered. Mention the deadline by when you require the information. Just mention it that I appreciate if you could reply back to me before Saturday as I'm traveling post that. Or you can just say, I appreciate the early reply. So if you can just say that if you can apply early, I'll be really grateful to you. Clear? Are we clear? Now look here. Now look this thing. Look at this sample. So there is a sample which is about inquiry about the catering service. Now, if you see, it says that designs F661AH block in Jampura, New Delhi. So this is the name of the company of the center. This main letter is coming from Zest Designs. Their address is given, their area is given, and the city is given. Then you leave a line and then you write about the date, which is 29 October 2000. I mean, you can just fill out whatever. Then, whom are you writing this letter to? To the proprietor. Who's proprietor? Creative Catering. And what is their address? 59 Kailash Colony, New Delhi. Clear? Any problems till here? Then you leave a line and you write down about the person's name, or you know who the person is. You write, dear Mr. Khan, right? For example, the name was Aryan Khan, so you can just say dear Aryan or dear Mr. Khan. Depends on the seniority level, depends on your relationship. So, for example, you are. I mean, I think this is okay with everyone these days, right? Then the next line, you write the subject, which is inquiry about the catering service. So now, why this person is writing a letter? To inquire about the catering service. Now, look at the first paragraph, which is the introduction. With reference to your advertisement, we wish to inquire about your catering services. We are celebrating 50th anniversary of an organization. The person is giving a brief details that we are just celebrating our 50th anniversary, right? And so this is why we need a good catering service, right? And then you also give an idea that they are going to have a big guest list. Now, person who cannot handle the big guest list, and even if this person comes, what's the point? But you know that this catering service deals with big clientele and big people. So you basically like to approach them, and then you mention the details about your event. Yes, it will be a formal event, and we all need full catering services that includes several courses, including starter and dessert. Now, this person has given the requirement that in the first paragraph that I'm looking for a catering service, and I want to give a full catering, and I need a full catering service. That means I need starters too, and I need desserts too. And how many waiters they need, and how many hosts will be there, and how many guests will be there. So now you want more information in one go so that you can book the person as soon as possible. You say, can you provide us with the details from the following? Whether your catering service has experience to handle lavish celebration, whether waiters and hosts are provided by you, offer discounts available, the main options and changes. Right? And in the last you will say, we shall be grateful if you could provide the details mentioned along with the rough estimate as soon as possible. So you basically want to close this as soon as possible. You have made an inquiry, you have made a list of questions that you want to ask, and then you tell the person that please tell me as soon as possible. Clear? Thanks and regards comes the person's name, designation, and the company's name. Are we clear? Any problems still here? No, Khushi, it's not informal. These days we use dear for everyone. Okay, anyone? Any problem so far? Then I'll start with the other kind of letter. What you need to notice is that in each letter, the format doesn't change. Even if we start with the order letter. Now, the name is very clear. Order details means that you want to write about that you want to place an order for something. Clear? The order letter is written by a buyer to the seller. So basically, this letter is written because I want to place the order. His letter includes three major types of information. One, details about the item or the product being ordered. Information related to delivery. And third is the information related to payment. Now, when you do a sale and purchase, this is what is more important is the delivery date, the payment terms, and then the item that you want to order. Clear? Any doubts that anybody has? All right. So now in this one, for example, we write the letter based on the first one, which is details about the item or the product being ordered. Right? Complete information and specifications of the goods ordered must be provided in an order letter. Such information includes the following: name of the product, name of brand, unit price, quantity, other specifications. Can you see it on the board, on your screens? Name of the product and name of the brand that you want to place an order for. For example, you're ordering a cricket ball. So you want to order the particular brand that you want and you like, right? For example, Costco or Cosmos, whatever this brand used to be. I know from my school days. Then the unit price, that what is the per unit price. Then you talk about the quantity that you need and other specifications about the catalog number, model number, size, weight, etc. Yes. Then comes the information related to delivery, wherein you talk about that what is the desired receipt date when the thing will be received by you. Decide delivery location. So you also share that where you need this thing, right? And then you also talk about the mode of delivery. You discuss, or basically you ask what will be the mode of delivery. Then comes the information relating to payment. So basically, you talk about the mode of payment must be clearly indicated. The seller will accept the order when both agree terms and conditions on payment. Now, if the seller will only agree if the payment conditions are as per him, right? So then people sign that this deal has been closed for so much money, this much advance was given, and the rest will be on the date of delivery. And you also talk about the mode of communication these days, by check, cash, DD, or whatever you want, and the payment date. Clear? I want you to read this on your own. On your screens, look at the subject. As discussed telephonically, so you've already called this person and spoken once, so that is why you've written as discussed telephonically. We wish to place a bulk order for the supply of the following sports equipment for our students. Now look at it. For this order related things, you can draw a table too. Basketball, and then lastly, you talk about the equipment mentioned should reach to us by 15 July, which is the time line. You requested to ensure the quality, condition, and packaging of the equipment. The payment will be made at the time of delivery in the form of any demand draft after deducting 15%. An early delivery would be appreciated. Yours sincerely, name, designation of the person. See, this person is the principal, right? Any problem that anybody has? Okay. Unit price is not mentioned because, I mean, that must have been discussed telephonically, no? That's not required or mandated to ask for the price. It must have been discussed on phone. Okay. How about we take a break now and then we come back and then continue? What do you think? So, hello. Hello? Okay, so we'll take a break for 5 minutes and then we'll come back and then we'll start with the next one. Okay, 5 minutes. Shall I start? Okay. So we discussed about the letters for inquiry and the order letters. Similarly, we have more letters which are about the same. It's the letters of complaint. Now, what are letters of complaint? Letters of complaints are when you're writing the letters for the complaint. Again, format remains the same. The only thing that differs is the content. Okay. So, for example, you have bought a TV from somebody, right? And within the 2 months, the TV stopped working. Right now, what will you do? The TV is already warranty. So you will be writing to the brand that that your complaint letter that your TV has stopped working. Right. So now these letters of complaint is a very significant part of the selling in the providing services industry. Right. Okay. Uh, It can be notified to one person or a company or the entire business altogether if you're not satisfied with the product. Now, this can address to the individual, it can address to the brand or company, everyone together. So, because if you're not happy with the brand, you can address it to the brand, right? Or on behalf of a company. It is a very effective and professional way of getting your problems solved. Because one, nobody is bothered by a letter, right? If you keep calling somebody again and again that, please fix my TV, please fix my TV, people get irritated. And half of the time, they don't even listen to you. But letter writing is a very effective way. Why? Also because you have an official record which says that you had written a letter. The other person is under the pressure of replying back to you or taking an action for you. Because if they don't take action for and solve your problem, then you can take legal actions also based on that. That I had informed them, and still they have not done anything for me. Clear? This is why we say letter writing is a very good way, because in that sense you will have the official record of what happened. Clear? Now, in this letter, what you should include. One is its clear description of your problem that you're facing and what you want done, like what do you want from the company. You need to include the proper important dates. Now, when did you buy the product? When did it stop working? You can talk about that, it's not even 2 months and the product has stopped working. Then you talk about it, what actions you have taken place to fix it. Like what are things you have done at home that this thing could be fixed, but nothing happened, right? And now you can ask for the response. That give me a reasonable time limit to respond to your request, or to state very clearly that you expect a response and action from them. Clear? Attach the copies of supporting documents, for example, like your bills, right? So that you can actually get it verified. Let's see, I bought it 2 months ago, right? Try not to make personal accusations, right? I know when somebody's things stop working, people are very furious, but do not do that. Don't get personal with somebody, because they are also working for the company, right? It's not their product. Why discuss any other concern? Now, don't mix two things. Don't discuss anything else other than a complaint. If it is a complaint letter, stick to the complaint. Don't start asking that, oh, I want to understand this feature also on the remote control. No. If you're writing up a letter of the complaint, then stick to it and nothing else. Are we clear? Yes. Okay, on your study material, page number 10.9 is the complaint letter. Quickly read it on your own and ask me if there is any problem that you're facing. One second. Oh, it's from you. What? 1 second. We're gonna share the. Okay. It's here. Okay. Now, XYZ Corporation. So, if you do not know the company's name or the sender's name or the receiver's address, you can just write it this way also. XYZ Corporation, Rajiv Chowk, Delhi, hypothetically. Then you write the date. Leave one line. Read one line after the sender's address. After Delhi, leave one line. After December line, leave one line. Then after general manager, you don't need to leave a line. Just write general manager and then the address. Yes, and then leave a line before dear sir and madam. All right. So, and then look at the subject. It says complaint against the order number. So they picked up the order number from the bill because that makes it people easier job to look into their own systems and verify the details. Okay, now I want you to quickly read this. Now, in the first paragraph, it's talking about the order number, when it was made, when it was bought. Then that how the order comprised of 6 two-tone split air conditioners of XYZ brand, and then the how many window air conditioners were there. And as per the agreements, the products were to be delivered within 10 days. So now this is a complaint about the delivery. Now it says that this was supposed to be delivered in 10 days. A representative was to send it for the installation and demo. Unfortunately, one half the order has been delivered and no represented. Now, only the half of the order has been delivered, and that too, for that, no representative have come yet. So this is the person's complaint. And in the second one, you basically explain about what is your problem. So you talk about that they're taking undue time and have not completed their order, which is causing the embarrassment, inconvenience to clients. In addition, we have received no correspondence. And then you also complain about that they have not responded back to you for your calls and for your letters or emails, right? Then you have to talk about kindly ensure that the items are delivered to me before 20th December, failing which payment will be stopped or the order cancelled. So you're talking about the ultimatum here. If I do not receive the thing, then I will cancel the order. I request you to look into the matter and do the needful as soon as possible. Now, this line can be used for almost all the complaints. Clear? Yes. And then you thanks and regards, the person's name, the senior manager, and the operation and admin department. Are we clear? Any problems that anybody is facing? No, that's what I'm saying. No format will change. Okay, I have a question for you. Give me a second. Okay, now you have to tell me, I'm going to share the content with you, and you're supposed to tell me if what kind of a letter is this? Okay, 1 second. I'm just opening it. Okay. Now look at your screens and tell me which type of letter, formal letter is this? Is this a letter of inquiry or order or complaint? What is it? Quickly read and tell me which type of letter is this. Okay, so most of you have got it right. This is the inquiry letter. Now, how do you get to know this? This is inquiry letter. You talk about the reference, about the advertisement regarding the courses in choreography offered by the institute. Then this person says that, gives a little introduction about himself, that I am in class 10th and preparing for a final exam. And then you talk about your interest in dance and that how you want to take it as a career. And I also want given to understand that this institute is by far. And then you also talk about that how you know that this institute is the best. Then this person asks about the question. Okay. And then last, it talks about that I would really appreciate that if you could just send the brochure along with enrollment format earliest so that I could register myself for the course. Clear? Now, so next letter comes the promotion letter. Now, promotion letters, two types. One is that you're informing somebody that some so-and-so person has been promoted. The other thing is that when you announce the promotion to everyone in the office. Okay, so yes, so it is primarily to tell everyone about some new development, like opening of a new branch also, or offers, or deals. All of this is promotion letters. Okay, my bad. Promotion letters is for the companies to inform everyone about their new product launch or their new office, new development, anything, or new offers. That is a promotion letter, not that promotion. That promotion is a separate thing. We will come on that too. Yes. So we keep getting these promotional letters all day when people talk about that so and so sale has started and the company is offering this much of discount and this is what you can do, all the payment options also. So they send everything. Now, how to write a promotional content? Now you need to adhere to business language, avoid fancy jargons. Jargons are only used when you're discussing something with somebody you know about, right? And you know that the other person will understand, not with everyone. So avoid the fancy jargon. It should be to the point and discuss only promotions and nothing else. No personal life, nothing. Personal topics should not be included. Subject should be clear and precise. You have to be very clear and precise about what you're writing. Are we clear? Yes. Okay. Next comes the sales letter. Now, again, this is quite easy. You all know what Sales letter is? Okay. Now, sales letter is basically when you are talking about the sales, right? Of course, this is a very important aspect of business communication, and you write to publicize and ultimately sell a product or a service to the customers. Now, you primarily start as to publicize, and then later you sell something, right? Now, what are the benefits of sales letter? It helps in sale promotion. It presents introductory offers, strengthen business ventures and important partnerships, highlight the importance of customers, make it easy to understand facts or figures. Clear? So you can actually use sales letter for so many things, for your sales promotion, for presenting introductory offers. Then you can strengthen your business by giving such ads. And also, you highlight the importance of the customers. So basically, you highlight in your letter that what customers mean to you. Now, there are few things that you need to keep in mind while writing the sales letter. Use formal language, always. English and slangs. Spoken English and slangs should be avoided. Now, what we speak and what we write is different. What we write is more structured, grammatically correct, and formal. So, you should always use that kind of food. Formal salutation must be used. Now you have formal salutations. When you're writing a letter for sales, you need to use formal salutation, dear sir or madam. The content should be specific to sale. You should not write about anything else but then sale. Extra details and information should not be included. Don't write down extra information. Personalized comments should be included. Should not. Now, you cannot write about what you feel. Keep things short and clear. Yes, talking about the users and the benefits, and then you basically pay attention to the target audience. Each letter might need a different phrasing. Now, you need to go through all the letters that you make, because that has to be very well read. It has to be very well understood so that you understand everything. Are we clear? Any problem that anybody has? Okay. Next comes the recovery letters. Now, recovery letters are the letters when you want to recover the money that needs to be collected in lieu of the services and the products given by you. So you have sold something, and the person has not paid you yet, and so you want to write a letter for the money. You want to recover your money. Okay. Now, next comes whenever you are writing the letters, now this letter must have information about the money that is outstanding. Then you have to talk about the last date of the payment, and then you need to talk about the legal action that the company can take against you. And you need to see that your language that you use in your letter is yet polite too. Even if you're recovering the money from somebody, the language has to be polite and correct. You don't want to offend the customer, okay? The customer is going to come back to you too. So you don't want to bother the customer. And you need to ensure that the future transactions with him are not adversely affected. So you don't want to, ruin your future transactions with the person. You don't know, how beneficial a customer can be for you. Are we clear? Now, tips to write a recovery letter. Use polite language. Use formal language. It is just a gentle reminder for something. Then, Now, the accusatory or threatening language should only be used if things go out of control. If you think the person is not listening to you and not paying at all, then you can get rude and then you can just talk about anything. But other than that, nothing to worry. State the reason for dispute or error or payback. Now, state the reason that why you are writing this letter, right? Because the person has not submitted paid the bill or paid for something. Then you talk about the legal action also that could possibly be taken. You need to scare the person also a little, because this is a recovery letter. Do not use official recovery letter to vent out a personal enmity or hatred. Now, when you write a letter, do not get personal. The client, I know how bad the client may be, but you need to maintain some decency and keep the language formal and business oriented. Needless to say that. Are we clear? Any problems to understand these types of letters? No. Promotions is basically talking about the offers. Okay, and you talk about something new has opened, some new development. You want to inform your customers about that, we have opened another building or another office nearby. That is promotion letter. Sales is when you are talking about a product, what you want to sell. Slangs is Bhumika, the kind of language that we use in text messages these days. The words like yeah instead of saying yes. Yeah is slang. It is not a formal word. You cannot say yeah, right? Formally. So it is yes. Okay, I'm going to display your study material here, and you have to just read the passages and quickly tell me that what kind of a letter is it. Right? Should we start this? I think there's like 4-5 samples. We can quickly get done with it. Now, please understand that one, format is very important. The sender's address, date, receiver's address and designation, the salutation, subject. If these things are proper, people will take you seriously. People will read your letter. Otherwise, people might not even consider what you're writing. Am I clear? So it's not a very difficult topic. And if you read a lot of samples and you read a lot of examples, you will automatically learn how to write these things. Right? Now, I always discuss, why are we doing this? This is not only for your, or when you become a CEO or you will pass this exam. This is something that we need every day. Something or the other is always needs fixation in the house, right? At office, you bought a new table for your office and that broke. You need to write a complaint. Yes. Now, writing letter or writing an email is very beneficial. Now, there are places where you can't write emails to. Emails will not help you. You need to write a handwritten letter. For example, you go to this water departments, I guess, water departments, electricity departments. They just tell you to write a complaint and give it to us right away, right? You go to, so basically, okay, I remember going to the passport office one day for my renewal of my passport. Yes. And there they needed a letter from me. So there was some mistake in my passport and they wanted to correct it. So they said that you need to give us a letter that, whatever was written was wrong. I need this correction. So and so. Now they said email cannot work. It's a big passport office. These guys don't have time that you write an email, they check their emails and then they process it. They said just sit down and write the letter to me right away. I'll sign it and I'll accept it because it's officially on record. Right. So when you go to these authoritative departments like passport office, whatever they want, they don't want in emails, right? They just want you to quickly write it down on the piece of paper, the letter of to request to change the address and whatever, and then they just do it right away. Sometimes writing letters makes your work easier too, right? And again, the format has to be perfect. They check the format also. If you don't know how to write a formal letter, they'll clear your letter. right? They will not even consider what you have written, right? Sometimes you have to submit the letters to the court as well, right? And you have to show that, this is what I sent to this person. Not everybody is into email writing. You might have some clients who cannot use emails. They are so handy with letters. So you need to show it legally that, I informed this person to do this and they did not. This person is not giving me money or not delivering the products, anything. But yes, for formal letters, you need to support your letter with some documentations. Of course, Khushi, good, you have reminded me. In banks also, they need letters. They don't want emails. You just need to give a handwritten letter or a typed letter that, for example, closing a bank account. Whenever you want to get the bank account closed, they will ask you to bring a letter. Yes, or even if it's a typed letter, that letter has to be on the paper and signed. Then they put that letter in their official records that this person had requested for the closing of the bank account. Right? Am I clear? If some people might go back to the bank and say that I never said that. So they can show the document that, sir, you had requested and so we did it. It's good for them also. And it's good for you also. Clear? Am I clear? Okay, now look here. Okay, now look at this letter. All the subject says inquiry, so it's very easy to understand. Now, this letter is about you want to donate some toys to the orphanage. So you want to write an inquiry letter to the toys company that you need the supply of 100 toys. Am I clear? Yes. So just to save the time, we have not mentioned sender's address and address here, but you need to do it. Right? Okay, so dear sir, madam, subject is inquiry for toys. You can be more specific also. For example, I want inquiry for the toys for the age group of 5 to 7 years. Yes, I can make it more specific also, the subject. But the subject has to be short. It has to be within like one line, not too long. We are a leading firm in accounting as per our social, and then you give an introduction that we are the leading firm in accounting, and this is part of our initiative that we need to, donate few toys. And you talk about that we know about you too, that you are a leading manufacturing companies of toys. So they kindly send the latest catalog with rates and discount you can offer if you purchase 100 pieces. It's very short and simple. They want mixed toys, so they said just give us a catalog and the rates and just tell us a discount that you can offer. Am I clear? You may reply, and then you are giving a timeline that you may reply by email in the next 3 working days. Okay, to the undersigned. We look forward to hear from you. Clear? Any problem that anybody has? Okay. Okay, now this letter is to place the order. Okay, now you may or may not make the table. That totally depends on you. If you think that you are going to order too much of quantity, then you make a table so that nothing is mixed from your order. But if you think that you just need 1 or 2 products, then you can just write a simple paragraph also. Are we clear? Okay, now look at this letter and tell me, look at the subject and look at the letter and tell me which kind of letter is this. Okay. Can I just check your responses? Oh, I forgot to share the screen. I'm so sorry. Okay, look here. This one I'm talking about, subject to this email. I'm just going to count till 10. You're supposed to answer to me by then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, it's a complaint letter. Very good. Okay, just one last example, then I will move on to the official communication part. Because this chapter is divided into two parts, which is formal letters and official communication. And then we'll talk about it, how officially we communicate within the organization. Okay, this is interesting. Look at this one and quickly answer. Just sharing the screen with you all. This is again very easy. I'm going to again count till 10 only for you to answer me which type of formal letter is this. Okay. It's a promotional letter. Very good. No, it's not inquiry. It's not order. It is promotional. No. Okay, so you're clear with the formal letters part. Is there anything else that you want to do in this particular section? Is it something that is unclear to you? You've not understood. One last thing that I would like to show you is the points that you need to remember while writing formal letters. Which is common for all the kinds of formal letter. The few things that you need to keep in mind is first is the formal language. Always use formal language because we are writing a formal letter and not the informal letter. Are we clear? So this is a very important thing that you need to distinguish. Use a format, right? Leave a line, additional space between paragraphs since no indentation is followed, right? So I'll tell you what indentation is. Now, one line. So we have different lines when you write the paragraphs. So if your first paragraph is ending on the last, till the last of the page, right? And you want to start the next paragraph, how will you tell that the next paragraph has started? You leave a line and then you show that the second paragraph has started. But if the last line of the first paragraph ends in the middle of the line or maybe the beginning of the line, then you can just start from the next line onwards, the second paragraph, because that will be very much clear the paragraph has been changed. Am I clear? But if that is not so, then you leave a line. Clear? Just so that you basically, you inform the person that the first paragraph, second paragraph. Then comes the, you should always state the reason for you writing the first paragraph. In first paragraph, at least tell why you're writing this letter, right? And keep your language simple. Don't, formal does not mean that you complicate or complex the entire language. No, make it easy and simple to understand. Use simple language. Then you need to add details on the information. Never, never, never forget to add information, the address, the phone numbers. And in the regards also, when you write down your name, write down your number too, so that if somebody wants to communicate to you, they can do that. Then be gentle, be courteous. It is a formal writing. It is nothing very, this thing. Because it's formal, even if it's a complaint, you need to be gentle and courteous. Don't start getting personal. Don't start attacking somebody personally, right? That is not going to help you. Do not forget to be polite. And even if it's a recovery letter, like I just said, that even if you have to recover money from somebody, the language that you use has to be polite and courteous. Don't start with the don't use the wrong language or bad language. Don't use the the words that you should not use in the written way. Also remember, whatever you're writing, that is an official record. So that person can take some action against you or use it against you in any form if you are not taking care of your language part. Then comes the to ensure that your letter is free of errors. Either it's grammar or spelling. It has to be error-free. Again, it is not informal. Clear? Okay. Is there anything else that you want to explain in the formal letter? Otherwise, I'll just quickly move on to the... If we write it on spot, yeah, Bhumika, the format will always remain the same, no matter which type of letter you want. Yes, Ankit, we do follow. With sometimes there's a little variation depending on the letterhead. So, for example, you're writing a letter to somebody on your letterhead. So your name is anyway there on the top, right? Then you simply start from the sender to whom you are sending out the information, receiver basically. Date will be there, that will be there, the salutation, subject, everything will be there, right? But if you're not writing a letter on the letterhead, then you have to write your address first. Are we clear? I hope you know that on the letterhead, the address and the name, everything is mentioned of the sender. So in that case, you don't need the address to be mentioned again. You straight away start from the receiver, date and the receiver's. But the date will always come first before the receiver's address. Simon, these are the do's and don'ts. So don'ts is don't use foul language, don't use informal language. Do not forget to use the format. So these are the tools. Okay, now let's quickly start with the official communication. Now, what do we understand by the official communication? Now, within the organization also, we have so many things that we want to communicate to everyone, right? So, like, for example, in schools, for example, like big organizations where like 100, 150 people are working. So when we want to circulate some information, we use circulars. Now, these circulars are properly numbered and dated circulars that is being sent to everyone. Like, for example, within a year, so the financial year starts from the April till March next year, right? So April onwards, when my circulars start, I basically start numbering them 01/2022, right? So this is the first circular of this year that has been sent out, then second, then third, then fourth, so that we remember how many circulars we circulated, right? Now, circulars are circulated to give information, to convey some special message. Mostly, it is the operational messages that you want to send out to everyone. Then you have some instructions. You want to give it to the large number of people. Circular is the best way of doing that, right? It is a user-friendly and it is a cost-effective way, right? And of course, it is something that holds importance. Nobody can ignore. These circulars are very important. So remember, in schools, we used to get circulars that tomorrow it's going to be a holiday on the account of this and this. So it used to be circular, right? Because the entire school has to be informed. How will you inform somebody? Will you call each person? No. Is the easiest way used to be teachers used to take out the printout. The printout used to go in every classroom. They used to staple it in the diaries and then send it back home. Right? This is how we used to get in. Our parents used to get the information if there is going to be school tomorrow or not. Circulars. Now, circulars has proper date, proper this thing, and then information. Like dear so and so, like dear parents, and then so and so, and at last there used to be the signature of the headmistress or the vice principal or the principal, whomsoever is circulating this information. Right? It is an effective method of communication because again, it is a written way of communication, and you can say that this information was given to you. Right? It reduces the effort of management because that ways, if the circulars are once finalized and sent it to everyone, the management has informed everyone. That's not their headache now to check if somebody's got the information or not or whatever. Are we clear? Second thing comes in the official communication is the memos. Now, memos is to basically remind people to do something, right? To remind them about some procedure, policies. And it should these both things should be in easy language where everybody understands so that nobody misinterprets the message also. Sometimes when the language is complex, you misinterpret the message. Are we clear? Okay. Now, this is a reminder and it has to be, now memos have 5 functions, which is to remind people, to highlight something. So for example, some policy that has been broken by people, right? I mean, like there's certain things, rules of some organization that has been broken by a lot of people. That the memos can be issued to highlight that this has been happening time and again, and we've been noticing it, right? To recount, to recall again and again, to keep a record that this person was given the warning once or twice or thrice, right? To inform or instruct briefly, to give some information and instruction briefly, like this thing has to be done. Are we clear? Just give me a second. I'll show you in your. Okay, so I want you to see this. Okay. Now look at the first sample. This is the circular sample. Now in circular, if you see there's a circular number on the left, so the circular number comes on the left and the date comes on the right side. Now this is the format of circular. The circular number never comes on the right and date on the left, never. Date is always on the right and the circular number is on the left at the same level. Then there is a heading given that what this circular is about. Like for example, a holiday, or you can say instructions or information. Then you can say for all employees, or you can say dear parents, dear employees, something like that. Address for whom the circular is. This is an official confirmation that office timings that have to be followed strictly by the employees. Being an outsourcing organization, now this circular is about that people are not following the office working hours. We maintain a different schedule of work hours as compared to the normal. It is sincere request to all the employees to follow office timings as per the mentioned guidelines, catering to the US work time. Now, it reinforces again that working hours is 6 p.m. to 2 p.m. Saturday, Sundays are off. Meal break is 9 to 9:30 a.m. Am I clear? Defaulters will be liable to explanation and strict action will be taken against the repeated defaulters. In case of emergency or any other exigency, kindly notify the respected heads within 24 hours. Then the name of the person and the designation of the person who has circulated this circular. So now this person is saying that people are not following the work timings and they're not even informing about it. So she's saying that you need to follow it. If you do not follow, then there's going to be some strict action that will be taken against you. To reinforce the work timings again, she mentions in the circular that this is your work timings, this is the off time, and this is your meal break time. Clear? This is what circulars are. Now, she has taken out the circular and circulated to an entire office, right? Send out to everyone. So this is a user-friendly also. Nobody minds also. Now, if I go to somebody and personally say that you're not following, people might get offended. Now, in the way of circular, people do not mind. They just take it with respect. They don't get offended also. And then they are happy. Oh, I mean, like they just read it and take a note of it and take it seriously also. Clear? Yes. Now, next comes the memos. Now, look here. A memo letter informing the office manager about the purchase of office furniture. So, memo has been issued to the to office manager that the person has purchased the office furniture, right? So, name of the place, the office, inter-office memo means within the office. Date, to, from, reference, subject. As desired, the order for the supply of office furniture has been placed within this thing. The chairs and table will be supplied in multiple lots and the order will be completed in 10 days. So you're basically informing somebody that what has taken place. Right? Now, usually now, for these memos, this format is already created. You just have to pick up the sheet and fill up the blanks for the memos. Like for example, this company name, inter-office memo, and this date, to, from, reference, subject, all of this is mentioned already on the paper. You just need to fill up the blanks and then write down what you want to inform the person within the office, right? So this is next one is a memo apprising all branch employees about the suspension of order of an employee of the same office. Okay, so now you want to inform everyone that somebody has been dismissed, right? So then again, the memo has been issued so that everybody can get it and receive it. This is to inform you that Mr. XYZ, cashier of Smriti Bank, Vilas Nagar branch, has been suspended on charge of misappropriation of funds. All concerns are requested to abstain from dealing with him. Strict action will be taken against a branch employee found to be in contact with him. Bank authority shall not be responsible for any of fraud, cheating caused by him henceforth with any branch employee. Right? So now these kind of memos are issued so that people get the information. Now, are we clear about this too? This is a very short topic about circulars and memos. Now, let's take up some questions. You can ask me if there is any question that you have, any problem that you want to ask me. Okay, Ashdeep, I'll do that. Okay. Now, circulars are basically a general information that has been that somebody wants to, some HR department or any department wants to tell everyone, or admin department, right? Usually, circulars are always issued by them on the orders of the management, right? And so circulars are basically circulated to the large number of people, right? And that information is same for everyone, so it is sent out to everyone. In memo, you basically inform the person, right? For the, for example, if somebody is being dismissed in the some department, so how would you inform everyone? You inform them through memos. That's not a circular, that's a memo, right? Circular is basically when you're talking about some holiday, when you're talking about some increments, or when you're talking about the holidays, right? And the sudden change of things in the schedule of people, that is the circular. But memo is not. Memo is used to communicate something immediate, something that is going to be effective right away, something that you should know. And memo is also a permanent record. So whatever you send out to each other as a memo, that remains the same. Now, it could be about a meeting too. It could be about providing instructions. It could be about status report, summarizing something. And once again, okay. Now, memo and circulars are kind of similar, but memo circulars are for the mass distribution when you want to send out to everyone, but memo is for the selected people, maybe probably from one department, one small office, something. The circulars bear general announcements. For example, work timings. Work timings is a general announcement. So that is for circular. But memos can be for various and several subjects. For example, dismissal of something. For example, ordering some resources for office. For example, you want to tell the HR department that you want some material for your use, from resources for your work. That's all memos. Memos are internals and exclusive in nature than circular. There are a lot of information that you can talk amongst each other internally, part of the team, not you don't want other teams to know about. Right? But circular is general, and usually circulars flows from the management. Clear? Memos can also pertain to legal documents like the MOA. Now, it can have, or it could be related to some legal documents also. Memos are also very serious. You have to take memos very carefully. Okay? Memo is basically just to remind somebody what they need to do and what they're not doing. Clear? Kushi, I think memos can be issued to the specific person also. It could be one-on-one. All right, now, any problems, anything? Yes, Sepa, because that is for everyone, right? It is not for a particular department. It is for everyone. So you basically take out a circular and then circulate it because that is for everyone to know. But memo is not like that. Memos can be about some specific topic also that you want to talk to everyone about. Oh yes, because how would the other person know about whom are you talking? Yes, Bhumika, right. Anything else? Are we clear with the formal letters at least? Go today because you have a class with me on Friday also. In case there's some problem, we can discuss that on Friday as well. And we can discuss and then explain. But right now, are we clear about the formal letter writing at least? Okay, I'll take up this memo thing again on Friday. Don't worry. Rest, everybody understands everything, all the topics. Do you have any questions related to that? Okay. Uh, we'll discuss that on Friday. Don't worry, don't get yourself confused. We'll understand this with a fresh mind on Friday before starting formal mails. Time of practice. You need to practice a lot. I've been speaking what? I don't know, since the age of 5, 4, 5, 6. So you need to practice, you need to listen. People speaking English a lot, you need to read. So that's how you improve your language, you improve your fluency. Not only about the knowledge about the language, you make your fluency also better with it. Okay. All right. So how was today's class? You all can let me know. I thought I won't be able to finish this today. Yes, lucky yes, it's done. So do go through formal letters at least, because Formal letters is again part of our lives. It is not only for the exam. You should know how to write formal letter, because again, we write complaint letters all day. We need to write about inquiry letters quite commonly, no matter where we are. Then we talk about recovery at times. Yes, some people do not. Like, for example, you sold something to someone and the person is not returning the money, then again you write all of this. So you basically write these things in your day-to-day language and day-to-day life. And if you practice even the 5-6 of each part of the formal letter, that's good enough. You will at least know how to structure your letter. There is, not every letter is very different from each other, right? So at least you learn about how you can twist the language a little bit and then write it. Am I clear? Okay, thank you. People were saying the class was good. Anyone else? Any problem? But make sure that you know about the format. Even if the format is not, you don't know the sender's name and address in the question. If it's not given to you, then you just make it up anything by yourself. And for your exam, you can do it. And for the exams, you have to create the hypothetical situation. Nobody's going to give you the facts, right? You'll be just given that, you are so and so, you did this, and you write a letter for this thing. Think of the information that is not even given in the question. You can make it up on your own. Okay, great. So see you guys on Friday now, and we'll start with formal mails after this. Have a good day and have a good Dashera.